Welcome to Academic Guru's Tutoring Tuesday, where we answer all of your high school, college, and university questions. If you would like your question to be featured on next week's Tutoring Tuesday, please submit your questions to questions@academicgurusinc.com. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay current with all of our new videos. Today I'll be solving a question that was posed by Samara8954, and the question reads, Dave rented a limousine for his wife's birthday. The hourly rate is $70. They used the limousine for 3 hours, plus Dave gave the driver a 20% tip. How much did he spend in total for the hourly charges plus tip? So as always, I'll be breaking the question down into steps. The first step being to understand the question. Now the question is asking us, how much did he spend in total for the hourly charges? And this is essentially what David spent in total. The amount spent in total is equal to the total hourly charge plus the tip. Now let's try to understand what we mean by the total hourly charge. The total hourly charge is essentially the product of the hourly rate multiplied by the total number of rental hours. Now that we understand what we mean by the total hourly charge, let's go on to find out what we mean by tip and how to go about calculating the tip. So we calculate the tip by finding the product of the tip percentage multiplied by the total hourly charge. Okay, so now that we've identified the components of the question and we've understood how to go about solving for these components, we can move on to step 2. Step 2 requires that we calculate the total hourly charge. In the previous step, we learned that the total hourly charge is simply the product of the hourly charge multiplied by the total number of rental hours. If we go back to the original question, we are told that the hourly rate is $70. That is, for every hour that Dave is renting the limousine, he is being charged $70. Now the hourly rate we're multiplying by the total number of rental hours. The question tells us that Dave and his wife used the limousine for 3 hours. Therefore, we can multiply $70 by 3 hours. After canceling out the hours and multiplying $70 by 3, we find that the total hourly charge is equal to $210. So for the duration of 3 hours during which Dave and his wife rented the limousine, the cost they incurred was $210. Now we can move on to the third step, which requires that we calculate Dave's tip amount. Because remember, our end goal is that we calculate the amount spent in total. We've now calculated the total hourly charge, and what remains to be found is the tip amount. In step 1, we learned that the tip amount is the product of the tip percentage multiplied by the total hourly charge. The question tells us that Dave gave the driver a 20% tip. Therefore, our tip percentage is 20%. From step 2, we know that the total hourly charge is $210. So now we are to multiply the 20% by $210. Since 20% is simply another way of saying 20 divided by 100, we can rewrite this equation as 20 over 100 multiplied by 210, which is equal to $42. So now we've managed to calculate the total hourly charge and we've managed to calculate the tip. Now all that remains to be determined is the amount spent in total. And that is what we'll try to solve in step 4. So again, we'll use the formula for the amount spent in total that we laid out in step 1, where we learned that the amount spent in total is simply the sum of the total hourly charge plus the tip. From step 2, we know that the total hourly charge is $210, And from step 3, we know that the tip is $42. Therefore, the sum of the two is equal to $252. And therefore, if we go back to the original question, we find that the first answer is correct. So there you are, Samara 8954. We hope you found this helpful. Thank you for tuning into our Tutoring Tuesday channel. If you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful, please give us a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. We would love to hear from you. Until next week's Tutoring Tuesday, happy studying.